has been forever.
Has it really?
It's been a hot little minute.
Well, no. At least we're back to it.
I'm getting yelled at by people because they take too long to come out.
That's what my mom said too.
But we acknowledge that. And with that, welcome back to I Hate That Shit, a podcast about hating shit and loving life. Here's your host.
Hi, guys. This is Bonnie.
Did you forget who you were for a second?
Yes, I did. Hope this finds you well. Because I wasn't ready for that. I'm ready now, though. Okay.
And I'm Liz.
Liz.
Yay.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a little chime in off to the side. You'll hear it on audio. You'll hear him on the video, but you won't see him. He doesn't want to be on video.
You don't want to be on camera today.
And that's okay.
No,
It adds to the allure.
What's that?
Don't want to mess up the camera.
No, you won't. You're a handsome man. We are talking about Liz's dad. Welcome.
Hello.
Jim.
James.
James.
James. I like James.
Little Jimmy.
What do you think?
James, Jimmy. They call me a lot of things.
Oh, I understand that. Believe me.
Most of it's not that nice.
I understand that for sure.
Liz calls me some stuff when she gets aggravated at me too.
Of course.
She mumbles. She
And
don't think
vice
I hear it.
versa.
Hey, we're grown-ups. We're allowed, like what we were talking about off video, off camera, was how we respect our parents and we try to spoil them as best we can.
And we
But
respect them by mumbling instead of saying it
out
out loud.
But sometimes you have to say it out loud, even to your parents.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're a grown-ass person paying your own damn way, right?
Yeah.
It's okay.
You gotta relieve your tension.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way to do it. Sometimes you may be mumbling just loud enough, just so they can
Right.
heal it.
Right.
But act like they didn't heal it.
I'm telling you, I mean, and that karma, especially when you disrespect your parents, is real. Anytime I would mumble or say something to my mom, I swear, and I mean, they can even, they can back this up too, is that every time I would say something to my mom, I swear I would stub my toe. I mean, it's like the wall, was in my way. The couch was in my way. Something, I always stubbed my toe. It was weird. It was karma. It was instant. Ugh. I think about that now. It hurts so bad. Oh. So of course I don't mumble anything under my breath about mom. I just say it out loud now.
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? Spank me?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she
Put me in the
tried.
corner?
She probably
She-
would. I've
she
met
tried.
her mom. She probably would.
The last time she tried to spank me, I think I was like 35. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about disrespectful kids, grown ass kids. Now, what do we call a grown
since
ass?
both of you have
We do have grown
ass kids.
We do.
Yep.
and
No.
know all everything that comes with that.
Hey,
The
it's
good, the bad, and the
and
ugly.
and that's exactly what it is. Well, what would you consider a grown ass though? 25 or 30?
I would say personally, I would say in the 20s.
Yeah, mid 20s.
Mid 20s.
I agree too. I mean, because
In early 20s, you still
Like
still
22
out there
and up.
doing
still
stuff.
stupid. Yeah, I was
That's
still
my
doing stuff.
marker would probably be like
And when you
22, 23. And
That
up.
seems young to me.
It's
mean,
young,
I'd say
but it's
25 is-
still
I'd say
like
25 to 26.
me too. 25
Okay.
to 27. So we know. So
I said
by
okay.
then,
Yeah.
you've
I bow down.
experienced a lot of things. And
yeah, and you fall in love and you want to have babies and all that good stuff. But that's the good part of children. The bad part is when these grown kids are being disrespectful. This is my problem with grown. I see it on videos and Twitter, all that stuff. Why do you feel the need to be disrespectful to your parents? Is it because of some trauma you suffered in your life? Why would you hurl verbal insults at your parents? I mean, I cringe when I think that people do that to their parents. I'm not saying all parents are great parents. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about. Just
Not the ones that are like justifiably criticized, but the ones
Exactly.
that are like, you're just being dramatic.
exactly. you're being a spoiled ass traumatic brat, right? Or
Yeah.
you're having trauma. You're having a temper tantrum. Why? As a grown ass at your parents, it's cringy
Because
to
like
me.
your parents bought you a car you didn't
You're an
want.
adult. It's
Yeah.
time to act like an adult.
Yeah, you see all those shows too when they all, well, why didn't mom and dad buy me a car?
Yeah.
Or like, why
Yeah,
did
like-
they buy me a Corolla when
Yeah.
they could have bought me a Benz? Why don't I have a G-Wagon? They have the audacity to buy me a Mercedes.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
Ugh.
drive that thing. That's too old for me to be in.
I know, it's weird. And you know what? There was my girlfriend. I used to drive a very, very bad POS. Okay, they weren't grown ass, but this just goes to show you how kids are about being ungrateful. My girlfriend wanted me to pick up her kids. They were in middle school at the time, and my car, it was called the Blue Bomber. Anyone that knows me, that's lived in Albuquerque, knows this car. It's the ugliest thing. But anyway, I went to go pick them up from school, and they said, we're not getting in that car. I was like, bye. I started to drive away. They're like, wait. It's like, do you want to ride or not? Who cares what the car looks like? They're like, we're not getting in there. I was like, okay.
You guess you're going to use your legs and walk.
I'll never forget that. Those are the kind of behaviors, you're like, really? Someone's actually doing you a favor, and because the car is ugly, you're not going to get in it?
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
what's
wouldn't want to
worse?
get into anything I have.
Exactly.
What's worse is like when they get older and that
Mhm.
it carries over.
Exactly.
And then they're an adult, and you're like, well, then you know what? Call an Uber. I don't know if I can call you.
Yeah. I've never taken an Uber or a Lyft ever. Ever. No. I mean, look how much I don't drive.
Well, you have a chauffeur.
Yeah. So it's all good. I
I
like
did.
having
I had to take a couple of them for a little bit there.
that. Yeah. I remember.
I have a choice.
All right, so here's one that some disrespectful behaviors include. This one didn't apply to my kids, but stealing money or belongings from your parents. What? Okay, no, that's not true. Winnie used to steal my my lip liner. I mean, my eyeliner all the time. I mean, if we're gonna consider that stealing, belongings.
Still
If you're gonna
stealing.
It
use
is
it,
stealing.
if you need it, use it and put it back.
Yo, she wouldn't know where it was. That's the problem. Can I have my liner
There's a
back? I don't
difference
know,
between
man.
stealing and borrowing.
Exactly. Borrowing and
Borrowing is acknowledging the fact that you're taking it.
yeah,
And
but
then,
not without asking. She would go and take it.
But that's
without
what I'm saying
asking.
is like, first is the acknowledge. It's like,
Mhm.
hey,
Mhm.
can I use this?
Right.
And then yes or no.
Yeah.
And returning it, like you said, returning it.
Yo.
That's the biggest part of it.
I agree with that.
And not returning it.
not
empty.
returning it, especially when I need it.
Well,
Well, I didn't take it. Oh, you're the only one in the damn house who did.
I forget what I did with it.
Yeah, always. Here's a good one too. Manipulation such as gaslighting or guilt tripping. Did your kids ever guilt trip you?
They tried.
They always try, don't they?
They always got to try. Grandbabies do it. Grandbabies can guilt trip me in a minute.
And you're like, of course. You're like, okay, what do you want? What do you need? It's funny, huh? It's so funny. I didn't do that to my mom, but I'm trying. Of course, the kids did that to me, and I don't know why they thought it would work. Trying to guilt trip me into something. I don't know why they thought it would work, especially with me.
Because it works with all the buddies.
I'm not the gullible parent here, okay? You know what I mean?
All the buddies are going to the mom and dad and give them all this guilt trip.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mhm.
if,
It's
if,
like-
if your mom and dad will do it, maybe mine will.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, sorry, it sucks to be you right now, but this is the real world, and no, you're not guilt tripping me into giving you more money, taking you someplace I don't want you to go,
But mama,
whatever.
I love you.
Yeah. I love you too, but so too bad. You know what I mean? It's so true though. Kids do that. Grown kids are doing that to their parents. Why are you gonna guilt trip? You're in your 30s, your
Well, in
mid-20s.
fairness,
Why?
most of the time we learn it from the best.
Well, yeah, I guess, but
You learn it from your parents, and that's why you
Not
like carry
necessarily.
it.
No, I think you learn it because you.
I mean, there's
want to
outside
have-
influences too,
Yes.
but
You get
You
a
want
lot
what
of,
you want.
A lot of outside influences on you is what causes most of it.
Yeah, because you want what you want, so you're gonna guilt trip someone
My
into
friends
having
have
it.
so I want it.
Exactly.
Which is, I want the same thing the Joneses have.
Mm-hmm. Well, in your 20s and your early 30s, you should be wanting to be proud of yourself by making your own money and buying your own shit. You
Mhm.
know, or learning that just because I have a job doesn't mean I get everything I want. You know, you got bills to pay, you got other priorities than your wants. Sorry to break it to you, but it's just true. You know, your needs come first. You know, and I think that's why some grown kids say, well, mom and dad have all this money. You know, why are they taking trips? You know, why are they doing this? You know, it's just like because they work their asses off to get where they're at. You're only at the beginning. That's something I've had to tell my youngest, is that you just got out of school. You are at the beginning of your career. You don't even know. I've done it so many years past where you're just starting at.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. I know what it's about and what it's going to take.
You know, so I think she's finally realizing that, and it's just don't beat yourself up though, you guys, for feeling like you're not where you need to be. You will get there with hard work and determination and a little bit of luck, right?
A lot of luck.
A lot of luck.
A lot of luck.
A lot of luck.
a lot of hard work
it
and a
takes
lot of luck.
Yeah, it's true though.
Little.
It
But
is true.
Don't let little things knock you down
No,
or hold you down.
no.
You're going to get knocked down, but you got to be able to get back up. If this didn't work, find something that does.
Exactly. I agree with that too.
Keep trying
Keep
until
trying
you find what you need.
You know what? That no truer words have been said, because I feel like that too. Like there's certain people who I think I know it was true for me, that especially going to college and stuff, thinking, oh well, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it didn't even turn out like that, because life spins you away in a different direction, and it's okay. You roll with that, and look, and I'm happy. I have no regrets like that.
And not many kids in the freshman or sophomore year of college have a clue of what they want to do when they get
do
up.
not. I know I was a junior when I decided I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to go bartend.
All that diploma means is that you're trainable.
And you have a lot of debt. That's what that diploma means,
You're
man.
going to have to stay at work to pay your debts off, and I can train you because you got through college.
Exactly. It's crazy. I don't know. That's something. I'm not a fan of college these days.
I feel like that going to college is a debatable thing.
I agree.
These days, depending on what you're going for.
I agree with that. It really is.
Well,
all right. Anyway, so here's another one. Intentionally misusing or damaging your parents' property, like taking their car and not being respectful of it enough, and damaging it or wrecking it, and not offering to pay your share.
yeah. Or wait until they go out of town and have a massive party.
Yeah, and then damage
Wreck
it,
the place.
wreck the place, and not
Place.
care. You know, I just can't even imagine that behavior. I would have got my ass beat every which way but loose. That is for sure. I would never disrespect my parents like that by taking their car. I mean, first of all, mom didn't even let me get my license until I was 17. She's like, oh, hell no, not you. You on the roads? No way. And you know what? I've never had an accident. Knock on wood.
I've had enough to cover you.
Yeah, no. I'm a very safe driver. But I just don't understand how you, as a grown person you say you're grown and you're living on your own and doing this, but yet you still want to keep taking from mom and dad. I think it's disrespectful. I mean, now if mom and dad want to give it, all right, but what is that teaching them? I'm guilty of it too. 100%.
If kids need help sometimes,
Exactly.
come to the parents and say, I need a little bit of help for this month. I'll pay you back.
Exactly. And you make sure they pay you too. I mean, sorry, you want to be grown, then be grown. One of the stories that I've heard about grown ass kids disrespecting their parents is there was this story, I'm sure you've heard it's on social media. This kid was 30 and sued his parents because they wanted to kick him out of their basement. He sued his parents because they told him to basically grow up and get the fuck out of my house. What? Really? Wow.
There was
That's
somebody
unreal.
else who sued their parents.
Wow.
I bet-
That's mind blowing.
Because they were like, I didn't ask to be born, so
Oh,
why do I
Lord.
have to pay my way?
Oh, everyone's the victim. I swear. That's so
But
stupid.
parents
So
can
many
be
people
assholes
nowadays-
too. There was one
Parents
set
can
of
be
parents.
assholes.
There was one set of parents sued their son because when he got married, he didn't give him grandchildren fast enough. So
Wow.
they sued him for a shit ton of money.
Did they win?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
It wasn't in the U.S., but yeah.
Oh. That.
But still, I mean, where it happened doesn't matter. It's the principle of if
So
you get married, you
they
don't
right. So
give me
they
grandchildren fast enough.
so the parents sued their son
Yeah,
and the daughter-in-law, I assume.
I would assume.
Right. How long had they been married and how fast did they want them? Do you know any of those details?
I don't remember the exact details. Like a couple years. What they
That's so
had, they
wild.
thought they would get married and have kids, and the son was like, we don't care if we have kids or not.
Yeah.
If it happens,
It
it happens.
happens.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. And they were like, well, that's unacceptable.
Wow. And the parents won?
I think. I don't
That's
know.
wild, man.
I'm
I
sure
could
if I'm
see-
wrong
I
and
could-
Jacob wants to prove me
Right.
wrong, he'll put
Yeah.
it in.
Try it, Jacob. Do it, okay?
That little robot voice will
Yeah.
pop up and say Liz is an idiot, or no, he.
But see, I can see in an up.
Ah, it has been a while since I've had to use this voice. Anyways, this story is true. An Indian couple is suing their son and daughter-in-law for 50 million rupees, or about $640,000. They claim that they spent 20 million rupees, or $257,000 raising their son, and have said to either give them a grandchild or pay them back. I couldn't find any updates on the outcome, but it is an interesting story. Back to the show.
See, I can see in an upside down world that would work. I could see someone who's biased about that sitting on the bench.
And those are the
somewhere.
parents that you
Ugh.
start criticizing online. Where you're like,
Mhm.
my damn parents sued me for not having kids.
It's stupid. That's embarrassing. As a parent, that's embarrassing.
Don't get any
You-
ideas, sir.
I'd be embellished to even think of something like that.
Yeah,
That shows how sue crazy
Yeah.
everybody is.
it's
gonna
so
sue you
true.
for-
Sue you for
nothing.
everything. Yeah.
Sue you for everything, and
Yeah.
you usually win.
Yeah. Okay, here's one that I totally 100% think is a very disrespectful thing that you could do to your parents as a grown-ass person. Physical aggression or violence towards your parents. What? But I could see it. I've seen some of that.
Mhm.
But you're like, and I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for people who treat their parents like that. I'm just like, why? You're gonna put your hands on your mom? If you're a dude? Or even if you're a female?
Period.
Wouldn't matter.
Period. Yeah.
Don't matter if you're male or female.
It doesn't.
It's not just your mom and dad. It's another person.
Exactly. At the
Outside
end of,
of like self
Brothers
defense,
and-
you
and
keep your hands to yourself.
Siblings fighting all the time.
the day. Oh, yeah. That's, you know what? Yeah. I mean, I pushed my sister off a roof, so she just mentioned it the other day, too. But anyway, yes, siblings do
She had
fight.
it coming.
She did have it coming, and that's what I told her, too.
It was self defense.
But I mean, I get the self-defense, but let's say you're just pissed off because they didn't give you X, Y, and Z, and you decide you're going to put your hands on your parents over you didn't get that, like we said, the G-Wagon.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Sorry, I guess your Mercedes was,
That's-
wasn't good enough. Just the regular one, I don't
Yeah.
get it, man. I don't get it. But there is a correlation to that, though. It says, what causes a grown child to be disrespectful? Research shows that when there is a conflict between adults and their children, there is often also disagreement about the cause. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Many things can cause a loss of respect between children and their parents, such as lack of empathy, but sometimes I think that if these kids think that their parents don't have empathy for them, I don't think that still makes you the victim. It should make you the victim. I didn't coddle my children. I still don't do that. But you know what I mean? It's if your son or daughter thinks that you're lacking in coddling them or empathy, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. But you go ahead and take that resentment anyway from it, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because there isn't always a lack of empathy. You just see it differently. Your perspective's different. But I understand this is saying that children may have difficulty seeing themselves as individuals, right?
Yeah.
They still see themselves as mom and dad's child, so.
And I think a lot of
they lash
times
out.
that's like, from my experience,
Mhm.
and this is all I can speak on,
Right.
is they take it from the parent. The parent's always like, well, I'm your mother, you're gonna do this. I'm your
Right.
father, you're gonna do this.
Motherfucking
And
right.
they're like, but when you're
Unless
like, you're saying that,
Unless
like,
you're my perfect little child, you don't have to do it.
shut up.
I'll make your boy
If
do
you're-
it.
Don't say that, because he's gonna hear that and be like, call me and be like, I fucking told you.
Oh, wow.
But
Anyway.
if they're like, 30, 40,
Right.
50 years old, and your parents are still like, you're gonna do it because I say so, 'cause
Right.
then at some point you're gonna be like, it doesn't matter what you
Right.
say, it
I
doesn't
agree.
matter your relation, like, I'm
Right.
telling you
Right.
this is what's gonna
Right.
happen. That's
I
how
agree
you
with
end
that.
up with like the overbearing mother-in-laws.
Yes.
And then, there becomes a discrepancy between them and the daughter-in-law because their precious baby boy,
Right.
or their precious daughter,
Right.
It's like at a certain point, boundaries have to be drawn,
Right. And that's exactly
and
what
there
they
are
say.
times that parents
Parents-
can't accept that, and there are
Right.
times that children can't accept that.
I agree
too.
with that.
I'll throw it on both sides.
I agree with that.
But it starts to clash because you are trying to be. You keep
Your own
being
person.
told like,
Be a grown
you're
up.
an individual.
Right.
You're a grown up. Be a
Right.
grown up.
Right.
Act like a grown up. But I'm your mom. You're gonna do what I say. It's
Right.
Period.
Right.
It's like, well, which is it?
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's that battle.
Yeah.
Going up, but you still got to be respectful.
Exactly.
Well, being respectful, yes. I think you should be
Always.
respectful
I mean,
to
that's-
yeah.
everybody all the time.
I
It
agree
doesn't
with
matter
that.
whether you like them,
I think
agree
that's
with
a fine
them,
line.
nothing.
Right.
That's a fine line.
It is a
between
fine line. I agree.
Disrespect
Between-
and disrespect.
I
Respect.
And just being spoiled and
Yeah.
Right.
mad because you're not getting your own way.
Right. I agree
Yeah.
with that. And I think that's where parents, they get stuck in seeing they still see their grown children as babies.
It's just
Uh-huh.
that point
know?
where you start, at a
Mhm.
certain point, when the boundaries start getting harder
Right. You do have
from
to draw.
both sides.
Exactly.
At a certain point, the boundaries get harder, and it's like, this is where it stops. Like, this is my boundary.
Right.
And then if the other side still sees it as,
Right. A conflict.
yeah,
Well, see, that's
like, yeah, but you keep saying I'm your little baby.
right. Exactly. You can't have it both
Well,
ways.
yeah.
You can't have it both ways. But that's now to flip that. Now, if there are parents out there who are disrespectful of their children, also.
Yeah.
And this is like an example. Let's say your son's gone off. He has got married. He lives in a different state, and he gets married and he has his own family. Now, some parents would get pissed off if they choose to spend Christmas with the other side of the family.
Right.
It's just like they're both. You see them when you see them, but we're still gonna decide where we want to go spend our holiday with. So then the parents are being all disrespectful and mad at their children over that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is both sides. It really is. Don't you think so?
Yeah. And also, you get parents, they could divide, one do Christmas, one do Thanksgiving. No, we want to do it all.
Both. Exactly.
And and if you got, especially the bigger families, that just makes chaos.
It does.
And for the parents out there that's cooking, doing the cooking,
Right.
it makes it hold on them.
Yeah, and then
And a lot of
then the
stress.
kids end up not just staying at home and not bringing the grandkids to see either set of parents. So there's no win-win in that.
Yeah.
Be happy when you get them. You know, you're a grandfather, I'm a grandma. I mean, we get that. I understand.
Or like when you have to load up the kids and go to 5 different
Yeah,
houses
no.
because everybody has to have Christmas
If we
on
don't
Christmas.
have Christmas,
Yeah.
if we don't have Christmas on Christmas Day, so what? There's another 364 days out of the year.
That is truth, brother. That is true. But but people are always locked into their traditions, because it's a tradition, But I'm just flipping that around, showing how parents can be disrespectful of their children too, because we've seen it happen too. But the one I was in, I think Cynthia told me this story. It was about a kid getting, or maybe I saw it online. I don't know. They all go together. But there was this mom. I was this mom too. Her kid was acting up, and the parent didn't do nothing in the grocery store, pulling shit off the shelves, and it's just like, that's cringy too.
Yep.
That's like, and they wonder how come their grown ass kids
That's
grow up to
disrespect to
be like
anything.
that. Yeah. I mean, you're disrespecting the store, your mom, yourself, and the other people. I always told the kids, when you leave this house, what's your behavior is a direct reflection on me. Period.
Yep.
Period.
Mhm.
You are the reflection of me. So act like that. Because if you're going to embarrass me, I'm going to tear ass up. Yeah, if you're listening, you know I'm right. I know you're listening, Mom, and you know that's right, because you tore my ass up a lot. I did. I got my ass tore up all the time. Not for disrespecting me, just being a troublemaker.
It's being a little asshole.
Yeah.
See, I was a
man.
little angel. I never got it.
I do not believe
That's
that. That's a
damn
damn lie. There's no way. All of us have our...
He'll tell the nice stories. His siblings will tell the other stories.
Of course. I honestly can say my sister, Bridget, she's 13 months younger than me. She, honestly, I mean, I'm almost 60, and she's right behind me.
Oh, you're
I
just a
could-
youngin'.
Yeah. I look good, don't I?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I can honestly say she is a square. She's never been in trouble. None of that stuff. But then again, neither has Rocco either. Not that Rocco didn't do shit but he
Rocco
got
didn't
away
get
with
caught.
it. Right. But Bridget, she didn't even try. I'm all like, what?
I feel like that's how
Jesus
Dad
Christ.
was. Like, he didn't get caught.
Well, of course not.
Mhm.
When I did get caught,
He would
Especially if
just
it's
charm
in
his
school.
way out.
But it was different back then, huh?
my shop teacher would always bail me out.
Yeah. Always was one. I mean, nowadays, no way. I would not want to get in any kind of trouble or any of that stuff. All right. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
All right.
Got all day.
All right. No, we Jacob,
Don't tell
Jacob,
her that.
Yeah. Shh. Okay. Here's kind of what we're talking about anyway. Like how grown children get upset and disrespect their parents when their parents... Okay, this... I don't think it should be a point, because I think it's okay if your parents disapprove of what you're doing or your decisions without it being disrespectful. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I think you can
Are
do
you saying
that.
doing things that your parents don't approve of?
Yes,
Is that
yeah,
what the...
yeah,
Okay.
it says,
Because you
yeah.
kind of got
Oh,
angry halfway
I know,
through
I'm
it,
sorry. I know, because I was thinking about some
of
things
the stuff you've done.
Yeah. But anyway, when hey mom, dad, guess what happened? Or I'm dating someone, blah blah blah, and they already know this history of, let's say, this job or this girl, right? And
Right.
they voice their concerns, and the grown ass is gonna get mad about that. They don't want even any constructive criticism, or they're the victim, and then they're gonna lash out at their parents over that. Why can't you just have a conversation with your parents, and it's okay if they don't agree with you all the time?
I feel
You're a
like
grown up.
Some parents, I do agree with you that you should be able to have the conversation. They should be able to voice their opinions. That's fine.
That's why you came to them, right?
But
Mhm.
some are very like, oh, you're not gonna do that.
so
like
many
you're
of
not
us-
gonna
Yeah,
date
see,
them.
that's-
You're
yeah,
not gonna
no.
work.
That
Like
doesn't
them.
work. That's
like,
authoritarian.
At that point,
That's
yeah,
control.
you're gonna have a bit of a pushback, but
And they ask for your opinion on something, but if you don't give them the opinion that they want to heal,
Yeah.
yeah,
then
You're a terrible parent.
you're terrible.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even as grown-ups, they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yeah.
as grown-ups, you know. But I don't know. I just think that you shouldn't. But you know what? But people in our everyday life, not just our siblings, our children, or our spouses, our friends.
a lot of
A
people.
lot
are
of
like that.
people are like
You
that.
get defensive.
You get defensive over really. It's an observation. It's an opinion.
Yeah,
It's not meant to be disrespectful or disparage you in any kind of way.
yeah.
And people take that and they run with it. I'm the victim. You criticized my artwork or the way the way I drive. I do that with Rocco all the time, though. I have to admit that. I'm good with that, though. So, but at least I know, right?
Yeah.
At least I know, but I think that's a thing, that parent-child conflict. It's a big thing. It really
Yeah.
is a big thing. But how do we get over it? How was your relationship when they were teenagers with your kids? Did you fight a lot with them when they were teenagers?
With Elizabeth, I didn't. With my son, I did.
Yeah,
We fought all the time when he was.
a teenager. Oh, look at you, Liz. How cute are you?
She could never do nothing wrong.
Oh my God.
I'm not saying she's spoiled, but
Yes, she
do
is.
you want that baby?
Look at her, look at her, look at her, look at her.
Not what happened at all.
Whatever. But okay, in closing, I will say this. We'll do 2 more points. Now, grown children, and Cynthia told me this. So before I get into what I'm going to say, I want to tell you this. Yesterday, Cynthia, we were sitting on the couch watching the boob tube, and we were talking, and she told me that this grown-ass man didn't find out that he was autistic till he was grown. And it kind of blew his mind, but it made sense to
Hmm.
things that have been going on in his life. Cynthia's like, well, maybe that made sense to him because of what has transpired in his life, over the years or whatnot. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
That's unreal.
It is unbelievable. And I think that's something too. This talks about stress or mental health conditions.
Yeah.
Maybe they do have
Because there weren't a
a-
lot.
a
They
mil-
weren't recognized.
Right.
I mean, they were there. Like
Exactly.
everything that's there today has been there.
but they didn't know what
forever.
it was.
But nobody knew what it was. Nobody
Right.
knew. They were just like, oh, they're just a little off.
We're all off.
It was like it was that
some more
the
than
weird kid in the class where
Why
you're
you
just
look
like,
at me when you said that?
you know why?
No, I agree with that 100%. But that, reading this and then thinking about what Cynthia said yesterday, it's true. That could also be a lot of the parent-child conflict too, with your grown
That
children.
You don't know how to communicate
Right.
properly with them, and
Yeah.
they don't know how to communicate properly with you.
No coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
That's a lot of that. And I think when you have addiction or mental health or stress too, because a lot of stress with people, they freak out and stuff, but you have to learn coping mechanisms. The number one coping mechanism, of course, is THC.
That's your number one coping
It
mechanism.
really is the only one I need. I'll just be real about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Does anyone have anything to say before we wrap this up?
Any last minute thoughts over there, sir?
It's been fun.
It's been fun.
Wish I could stay for some more.
Well,
Oh, well.
you
But I
could
gotta
if
head
you-
back
if
to
you
the
move
other
back.
side of the country.
Whatever, you can always stay. You can. Live
Bonnie's
with your
got a
daughter.
spare room. You can
I
have a
know.
whole room.
No, we would get in too much
We
trouble
already
together.
We already took Summer's room. Now you can have Whitney's room.
I know, right? We would have too much fun together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Get in trouble.
Yep, we sure would.
I'd be getting phone calls in the middle of the
Hey,
night.
that's would be on you and us, I guess. But anyway, what about you? You have anything to say, Missy?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on and having a good conversation.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Ended up actually being pretty good.
Yeah. He wanted to talk about grown ass kids. I know he.
Yeah,
if
he's mad
talking
because I was
about you.
bullying him the last couple days.
See.
In a helpful way. It's helpful
She's
bullying.
helped me
It's
a lot
not.
the last couple of
It's
days.
helpful bullying.
It's helpful bullying.
Whatever. You guys.
I wasn't bullying him actually.
You guys, thanks as always for listening to us. Things are going good. Hopefully in a couple weeks we'll have a really big announcement. In the meantime, check us out on all the platforms. Go say hi to me and Liz
Yeah.
and the rest of the gang too.
Go to
And
Instagram.
where is it?
Instagram at I hate that shit official. Sorry, I stumbled.
It's okay.
My bad.
You're allowed to.
And on
It
YouTube.
happens.
On that note, don't let shit get you down. You're not alone. We're all in this shit together. Peace.